What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Mathews back with another video for Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. In this video, we're switching it up a little bit. We're going to talk some dogs. Obviously, the college football playoff rankings, the final rankings are out, and our Georgia Bulldogs are at number 3. Obviously, we knew they were going to drop, but probably, most likely, 99.9%, had a 99.9% chance to stay in the college football playoff, which they did. And we know now they are taking on the number 2 ranked Michigan Wolverines in the Capital One Orange Bowl. It's going to be a good matchup. Not going to be a walk in the park for Georgia, but I still like their chances to make it to the national championship game and most likely have a good chance to, not shade Cincinnati, no shade, just truth, but they're probably going to see Alabama in the national championship game again if they take care of Michigan, which I think they will. And I'm going to explain how the SEC championship loss to Alabama, 41-24, if you haven't heard already, could have been a good loss. You know, some silver lining. There's some silver lining in that loss, if you ask me, when it comes to Georgia. I'm going to explain that all in a minute, but make sure you first like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you think the loss to Alabama in the SEC championship was good. I'm going to explain, some reasons, going more in depth, but really, I think this loss is going to refocus Georgia, show that, hey, you guys are a good team, but don't be smelling yourselves too much because you still can't get over the beast that is Alabama, and Alabama still can be beaten. Alabama can beat you, and that's the team you're probably going to have to go through to get to the ultimate prize. So I think this loss ultimately is going to help refocus Georgia and show, hey, they're not unbeatable. So first though, like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you think about Georgia's chances to win the national championship as well. Make sure you follow 92.9 The Game at 92.9 The Game on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere at 929 The Game. You can follow me personally at _Dylan Mathews for more content. I'll bring the high school content, pros, everything. So anything sports you want, just follow me at _Dylan Mathews. You can also subscribe to my personal YouTube channel. It's Dylan Mathews, just one T, DYLAN MATHEWS. Simple enough. Also, make sure you turn on your notification bells and subscribe to the 92.9 The Game YouTube channel if you haven't already for all things Atlanta sports content. It's all exclusive here in 92.9 The Game. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get right into the video. So, like I mentioned before, the Georgia Bulldogs did lose yesterday in the SEC championship game to the Alabama Crimson Tide with a final score of 41-24. And Alabama just came out there and hit Georgia in the mouth. I mean, they put up 41 points on a defense that was not even allowing 7 points per game. Coming into the SEC championship, the Georgia defense was only allowing 6.9 points per game. And I think they had only given up like 22 defensive touchdowns, and it might not even have been that much. So Alabama had a great showing against the Georgia defense. But I'm not taking anything away from Alabama when I say this because they played a great game and they outplayed Georgia point blank, period. But I do fear that Georgia came into this game smelling themselves a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. I think they were focused. I think they were ready. I think they were hyped up to play, and I think they wanted to win, obviously. They wanted to win an SEC championship. But in the back of their minds, they knew that no matter what happened in that game, they would still be in the college football playoff. Alabama, on the other hand, they had to win that game last night. If they didn't win that game last night, they're not in the college football playoff right now, and they're not the number 1 team in the nation right now getting ready to take on Cincinnati in the college football playoff. They're sitting at home waiting to find out what bowl game they're going to. They would have been in the New Year's Six Bowl, but they would have not been in the college football playoff. Alabama was playing like a desperate team last night, and desperate teams are always tough and scary to play against. Simple as that. Alabama was playing for their lives. Georgia knew they had a cushion, knew they could drop this one, and they would still be in. There wouldn't be any dire consequences besides no SEC championship, and you wouldn't be the number 1 seed going into the college football playoff, but you knew you would still be in the dance. So I think Georgia maybe came into that game just a little too comfortable, while Alabama came in there playing with their lives. That was just the mix for Alabama taking the cake and playing a great game. And I mean, like we all know it, the cliche sports mantra, a desperate team is a dangerous team. In this case, I think it really was true. But Georgia is going to have to fix some things. You know, they're going to have to figure out, because, again, if they take care of business against Michigan, you're going to have to find a way to stop the deep ball, because Alabama killed you on the deep ball in the SEC championship game. I mean, before Mechie got hurt, he was killing you. Williams was killing you. So you got to find a way to figure out the deep ball and stop the deep ball. You know, they did a solid job on the running game, but the deep ball and Bryce Young, you know, throwing dimes down the field is what really killed Georgia. They're going to have to figure that out. But before we get ahead of ourselves and get to Alabama, let's talk a little bit about what Georgia has coming up next, and that is the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan Wolverines, obviously coached by Jim Harbaugh. He was facing a lot of scrutiny coming into this season, and he finally got over the beast that was Ohio State, his kryptonite. He beat them in the last regular season of the game during rivalry week, and then he had a great showing. His Michigan Wolverines team did a 42-3 blowout over the Iowa Hawkeyes. K. McNamara had a solid game, 169 yards, a touchdown, an interception, had a QBR of 68.8. But we all know the rushing game is where really Michigan gets their offense from. That's really the engine to their offense, I should say. Hassan Haskins, who I think the Georgia Bulldogs are really going to have to game plan and watch out for, he finished the game not as the leading rusher. He was the lead horse with 17 carries, but finished the game with 56 yards. Did have 2 touchdowns. His longest one was 11. But we had a nice showing from Blake Corum, who finished the game with 5 carries for 74 yards, 14.8 yards per carry. He had a long 67-yard touchdown run. So, and then like I said, this game got out of hand pretty quickly. So, final score of 42-3. You know, they had some subs in there. So yeah, it was a pretty good game from the Michigan Wolverines. Now again, you know, Iowa Hawkeyes aren't, you know, world beaters, but they're a solid team. And like I said, I think Georgia is going to win this game, but the loss to Alabama is, I'm feeling not sorry for Michigan, but Michigan is probably going to get one of the best games that Georgia has played this season, coming off a loss, their first loss of the season. Kirby Smart is going to have these guys ready and focused, and Georgia knows, you know, it's winner go home. So you're playing for your lives now. Georgia is, they can't afford any more losses. They got their one that they could this season. Now you can't afford any more. So I think they'll come out with a chip on their shoulder. They'll come out ready to prove that, hey, even though we did have a duck of a game just then, we're still this same old Georgia team, and we're still this same old Georgia defense that was only allowing 6.9 points per game coming into the SEC championship game. So I think they take care of business against Michigan. It's not going to be easy though, like I said. Got to make K. McNamara uncomfortable. You have to stop Hassan Haskins. So if you can really stop those two, I think Georgia will be okay. But it's not going to be easy. You know, Michigan might be able to put some points up on Georgia. And if Michigan is able to put some points up on Georgia and they do have a, you know, solid running game early, how is Georgia going to respond? They didn't respond well to Alabama being able to, you know, run the ball on them early on and throw the ball. So how is Georgia going to respond to being scored on again if, you know, they get into a shootout game for the second week in a row? How will they respond? You know, that's going to be big. And this offense too. This offense is going to have to start pushing its weight. Only 24 points against Alabama. I know Alabama is obviously still a great team and they shouldn't be slept on, especially as much as they were being slept on against Georgia. But this Georgia offense is going to have to start pulling its weight a little bit more. You know, they showed some sparks. Obviously, they had flashes where they were looking good last night. But Stetson Bennett is going to have to be better. The run game is going to have to, you know, get more. I mean, we had a pretty good run game last night, but Stetson's going to have to be better. Can't make the mistakes. I know he threw an interception last night. So the offense is going to have to start carrying this defense. This defense carried you all season long. It got you here. now Georgia offense is gonna have to return the favor. They're gonna have to start putting up some 30-point games probably, especially against Alabama, because Alabama is gonna score on you again if we do make it to the national championship game. That's just what it is. You're gonna have to score because Alabama is going to score on that defense. They already showed what they can do. Now, will Georgia's defense give up 41 points again to Michigan? I don't think so. And if they do see Alabama in the championship game again, not even sure if they give up 41 points again to Alabama. Still, this Georgia offense is going to have to start carrying its weight. And I don't know if 24-point performance gets the job done again. It may get the job done against Michigan. It might not. I don't think it gets the job done if you see Alabama again in the national championship game for a rematch. I don't think it gets the job done there. So this Georgia offense is going to have to figure some things out. The Georgia defense, I think they'll come more prepared, ready to play. But it's going to be interesting to see, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think we're going to see a national championship rematch of the SEC championship game between Georgia and Alabama? Do you think those two will meet in the national championship game? Do you think Georgia will take care of business against Michigan? How are you feeling about the Dogs going up against Big Blue in the Capital One Orange Bowl? So let me know, guys. I think it's going to be an intriguing matchup between Michigan and Georgia, but we'll see. I mean, it could go either way. I think Georgia could turn this into a blowout, honestly, or it could be a close game. You know, Michigan is a little tough to figure out. They did have that very good win against Ohio State. They took care of business against Iowa, but they haven't faced a beast like Georgia before. Dang, I ain't seen nobody like Georgia this season, so I'm not sure if Michigan is going to be ready for the tall task that is Georgia and that Georgia defense. And like I said, the offense is nothing to sneeze at either, especially, when Georgia ain't going up against Alabama. They put up a lot of points this season, so it's going to be tough for Jim Harbaugh and that Big Blue, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens. Like I said, on the Georgia side, I think as long as they, put pressure on Cade McNamara, and this kind of goes without saying, you make Cade McNamara uncomfortable, you stop the run game, you stop Hassan Haskins from, going off on you and, chunking you for yards, I think Georgia will be okay. And like I said, I'm feeling pretty good about them winning this game. But Alabama shows they ain't to be reckoned with. They ain't just gonna roll over. Alabama's, they still Bama. They still Crimson Tide, and the Tide is still rolling. So we gonna see y'all, but can't look too far ahead. They do have to take care of Michigan first, and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you're feeling about Georgia's upcoming Capital One Orange Bowl game and college football playoff game against the Michigan Wolverines. Do you think do you think Michigan's gonna be able to keep it close? Are you feeling more of a blowout? And then also, don't want to look too far ahead. Like I said, we still got business to take care of against Michigan, but are you feeling a rematch between Georgia and Alabama in the national championship game? And if so, how do you think that will pan out? Do you think it's going to be the same type of outcome where Alabama, kind of just blows the doors off of Georgia's defense? Or are you thinking it's going to be a closer game that Georgia may even win? Are they going to get their revenge? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the 929 The Game YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to my personal YouTube channel. It's just Dylan Mathews, nice and easy like a Sunday morning. It's just DYLAN MATHEWS, only one T. Don't forget that. It's the most important thing. It's only one T. Also, follow 929 The Game on all social media platforms at 929 The Game. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on all the social media platforms. It's just at 929 The Game. But guys, again, like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you're feeling about Georgia's chances to get past Michigan and win a national title. Until I talk to you guys next time, stay true to Atlanta, believe in Atlanta, listen to 929 The Game for all coverage on things Dogs, Braves, Hawks, Falcons, all that good stuff. Until I talk to you guys next time, peace.